What's up guys, T-Mart here, and today we have a ton of Call of Duty stuff to talk about. Most of it having to do with Call of Duty World War II, so this is going to be a great video. Sit back, relax, thank you for being here, and hopefully you're having a good Thursday. In the background, you guys are seeing some Call of Duty 2 gameplay. I'm actually playing through that game over on my Let's Play channel right now, youtube.com/tmartin2, shameless plug. But it's a really good game. I actually, back in the day, I played it a very little bit, but I never actually played through the entire campaign. So this is my first playthrough of the campaign, so I'm enjoying it. And for a lot of other people, it's either their first time seeing it or super nostalgic trip because it's one of their first Call of Duties they ever played. So it's a good time if you guys want to check that out. We're like 80% of the way through the game right now, and we're about to finish it up, so you guys can go watch that series. But anyway, we are going to start off with the only non-World War II piece of information I have for you guys today, and it actually has to do with Infinite Warfare. Now, hold up. I know you're just like hovering over that dislike button right now. How dare I ever mention that Call of Duty game again? But this is actually really, really interesting. Today was the reveal for Infinite Warfare DLC 3, and guess when it's coming out? Next week. 7 days from now, next Thursday, is the release day for DLC 3, and we're only finding out about it now. Like, I'm super weirded out about this. I don't know what's going on. Like, usually we find out way earlier than that. Usually there are like little teasers and trailers and stuff like that. We didn't get anything. There's not even a trailer here. All it is they're just like, by the way, next week DLC 3 is coming out. And that's it. That's all we got. So, I don't know. It's weird times in Call of Duty right now. I feel like everybody is so far into the hype train of Call of Duty World War II. Even Infinity Ward is just like, fuck it. Like, we're looking at 2019. We're going to focus on 2019, and we're going to try to come back with something awesome. And I know that's not the case. I know they're still working on Infinite Warfare. They still are updating it. They're still coming out with new stuff. And honestly, even though a lot of the community is shitting on the game, the fact that they're sticking with it says something about, like, you know, that they may not have made the best thing, but at least they're going to support it. And you do have to kind of commend them on that. But I don't know. It's just, I thought it was funny that there's like no big push for the DLC anymore, which I don't know. So as for the DLC, it's the typical, you know, 4 multiplayer maps, 1 zombies map. The multiplayer maps are Ember, Bermuda, Permafrost, and 4. And they actually look pretty interesting. 4 is a miniature golf course, which looks really, really cool. And then Ember is actually a remake of Resistance from Modern Warfare 3. And Resistance was my map. I loved that map back in Modern Warfare 3. Obviously, it's going to play a lot different with the advanced movement and the wall running and all that stuff. So I'm probably not going to like it quite as much. But I honestly think just because of that, I'll probably end up playing these maps. Like, I've already bought the season pass, so I get them for free. I haven't played much of the DLC in this game, I'm going to be honest with you guys, but I am going to check out that because I really loved Resistance back in Modern Warfare 3. So we've got that going on. Zombies is Attack of the Radioactive Thing, which I think is kind of a funny name, but I don't know. I feel like the Zombies community is still pretty strong. I haven't really paid too much attention to it this year, so I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. But if you guys are into zombies, it looks like it could be kind of cool. Now, let's move on. Let's get away from Infinite Warfare. We are going to be talking about World War II. We actually have quite a bit of stuff to talk about today, even though it's kind of in that slow period. Like, things are going to start ramping up as the summer goes along. But we actually have some really, really good news in terms of competitive. And we were talking about this a few days ago in one of my recent videos where I was talking about how I really wanted to see the Infinite Warfare game battle system come back to where game battles was integrated with the game and you could find matches and you played on dedicated servers and stuff like that. And I'm hoping that happens still, but we got other good news as it pertains to competitive. So apparently Sledgehammer, right after MLG Anaheim, they brought out a bunch of different pros. A bunch of guys tweeted it was Merc, Karma, Krim, Aches, JCap, and a few others. And they were all talking about how Sledge had brought them out to play the game, to give feedback, and to, you know, kind of consult on it, in a sense, I guess you could say. And that's really good news. You know, I mean, I know not everybody is into competitive, and like some of you guys watching this video, some of you guys probably love competitive like I do. Some of you guys probably don't care for it and you'd rather just sit there and pub stomp. But competitive, their goal is to seek to make the most fair rule sets possible. And sometimes, yeah, that does take away from pubs a little bit and like the fun aspect, but as a baseline, they want to see the best built maps, they want to see the best balanced weapons, they want to see everything be a relatively even playing field, which even if you aren't into competitive gaming, you're still going to want that in public matches so you don't have anything that's super overpowered or super unbalanced or stuff like that. And I think it's cool that they're bringing them out. I think that definitely speaks volumes for what Sledgehammer is trying to do, both in terms of creating a balanced game and making sure it's competitive ready. And you can't argue that Infinite Warfare and Infinity Ward did do this, which they did, but they did it at a way later date in the development cycle, and it almost seemed like it was kind of a last-minute type deal, whereas, I mean, we're still months and months away from the release of this game, so there's plenty of time for Sledgehammer to actually take all of their feedback into consideration and make changes based on what these guys said. And a lot of these guys are longtime veterans of the game. They've been around for years and years and years, and they know what they're talking about. So I definitely trust their feedback, and hopefully this, you know, has an effect on the game. It's also worth mentioning that Sledgehammer does have a Rambo on their team. Rambo is one of the oldest, most accomplished, most well-respected Call of Duty vets, just period ever. So the fact that he's been in the studio since this game was even just an idea is really, really cool. And I think we're going to see some cool stuff from the competitive side of Call of Duty this year. Now, we also had one other thing confirmed for competitive, and that's that ranked play is coming back. So you guys can see right here, Michael Condrey was replying to Karma, and he said, frankly, it was good to play with you. And typical Condrey, you know, very convoluted fashion, but you guys can see no capital on the F, capital R, and then a capital P in the middle of the sentence. That's not an accident. That spells out rank play right there. So he's referring to ranked play. That is going to be coming back, which is exciting. So ranked play back in Advanced Warfare wasn't bad. I still liked League play from Black Ops 2 better, but I'm sure they're going to mix it up a little bit. So if you guys remember back in Advanced Warfare, ranked play was where you went into this mode where it was all competitive maps and rule sets. You played 4v4, you played only certain game modes on only certain maps, and you started off as a bronze ranking. And then as you played and you won matches, you would earn points. If you lost matches or backed out of games, you would lose points. And so the goal was you wanted to win a bunch of matches in a row, you would get up to your promotion challenge, and then once you were in that challenge area, you had to win 2 out of 3 games, and then you get promoted up. So, you know, the goal was to get promoted as high as you possibly could. And you had bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, and then grandmaster were the top 100 people in the world. So it was a lot of fun. It was a great way to break the norm of pubs, and it was something to kind of, you know, track your progress as a player that wasn't just XP. I mean, anybody can go on and go 6-20 and earn XP and rank up in Call of Duty. This was actively pitting you against other people of the same skill level, and the only way to rank up was to be better than them, was to outplay them, to outsmart them, to, you know, grow better as a person, and that's what made it really, really addicting. So I'm glad to see it coming back. I hope they add more to it. I hope it's, you know, got a few more features and especially more rewards. Like back in Advanced Warfare, we had the Division gear, where at the end of each season, you were awarded Division gear wherever you ended up. And I mean, you guys can see on the left there, the bronze looks a heck of a lot worse than all the way on the right with that Grandmaster kind of like royalty looking suit. So stuff like that was cool, but I feel like we can do more. I mean, especially this year, we've got the headquarters feature. So, I mean, like rocking around in some crazy suit that shows like, hey, I'm a badass in ranked play. That would actually be really, really cool. And maybe we can get some more, you know, weapon camos and stuff like that. Just stuff that says, hey, I worked really hard for this. I earned this. This is this really cool thing that nobody else can get. Like, I think that kind of stuff is really, really cool, and I hope to see more of it return this year with ranked play. Now, next up, speaking of the headquarters, this just gets better and better. So, a video a couple of days ago when we were talking about dabbing not returning to Call of Duty World War II, we talked about how crazy the headquarters mode is going to be. Guess what? They've just talked about another new feature that's going to be in headquarters we hadn't heard about before. So, they did an interview with The Guardian, I believe, and Sledgehammer confirmed that headquarters is going to have a Scorestreak training area. So if you want to go in there and you want to practice with the score streaks, and this is typically meant for some of the bigger score streaks, like if you want to make sure you know how the ball turret gunner works, or, you know, other stuff like that, you can actually practice these score streaks in essentially like a score streak firing range. So you can know what to expect when you actually earn them, so that way you don't earn the highest streak in the game and then have no clue what you're doing with it. So although this is something I feel like 3 months into the game, nobody's actually going to use, I still think it's pretty cool that they're thinking of stuff like that, and I thought that was a welcome new addition to the headquarters. Now, next up, let's talk about when we're going to get our next big announcement for Call of Duty World War II, because it's closer than you think. Comic-Con. So today, Sledgehammer put up a video on their YouTube channel. It's actually a pretty interesting watch. If you guys want to watch it, I'll link it down in the description. Basically, Mike and Mike go through and they break down every little detail of the MP reveal trailer. And like I said, it's pretty interesting. But the biggest thing is right at the end, it says, "Thanks for joining. See you in a couple of weeks at Comic-Con." So obviously they're saying that Sledgehammer is going to have a presence at Comic-Con. They're probably going to do a panel or two, and they're going to have some sort of announcement there. Well, this is really interesting because for the past couple of years, Comic-Con has always had something to do with zombies. Now, last year with Infinite Warfare, it was very small zombies. It was mostly campaign. They showed us an entire new level and stuff like that. And then they did reveal the zombies logo. But the year before that, for Black Ops 3, that was actually the location of the zombies reveal. Like the zombies mode reveal. That's when it came out. That's when we saw gameplay and stuff like that. So who knows what we're going to see from Comic-Con. I think we can definitely expect to see at least a little bit of campaign. But we could even see some zombies. Either like a major teaser or possibly even a reveal. Who knows what it's going to be. But that's pretty exciting. So, you know, save the date on that. It's a couple of weeks away. It's July 19th through 23rd. And as we get closer, I'm sure we'll find out more information. I'll let you guys know about that. And then finally, last but not least, the last thing I wanted to kind of show you guys and give a shout out for were some fan-made camos from Reddit. So the first set you guys are going to see here were made by Turd the Third on Reddit. I'm going to link him down below. The second set were made by D&DO on Reddit. I'm going to link him down below as well. But yeah, one day I was just browsing through Reddit. I saw these. I thought they looked really cool and I wanted to share them with you guys. So they're camos that we can likely expect to see in World War II. Obviously, these aren't going to be the exact ones, but it's going to be something pretty similar. I wouldn't be surprised. So we know that they're trying to take a little bit more of a realistic approach to the game. Like, they're not going to be throwing in a bunch of, you know, crazy suits and outfits and gestures and stuff like that. Like they've explicitly said they're not going to be doing that. So I would expect some darker, dingier, you know, actual like military camouflage-based camos on our weapons. And I don't know, like I said, I just, you know, I thought these looked pretty good and they were kind of in my mind what I'm expecting to see out of multiplayer when we actually finally get to see the real camos that are in the game. So again, these are not real, they're not confirmed, these are made by fans, but I think they're going to be pretty similar to what we see once the game actually ships. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we're going to go back to gold being the highest camo in the game. Like a nice looking gold, that's like the ultimate one. I don't want any crazy diamond and dark matter and stuff like that. Like I would love to just go back to gold. So there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments about those camos. I think they're pretty cool. And I'm going to catch you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.